Hello, my brothers and sisters. Once again, this is Eddie Marcus, and I got a good, wonderful message for those who are looking for good, wonderful messages. And I got a message that's going to piss you off if you think you already heard and think you already got it and think you know. Yeah, it's going to piss you off. Now, let me tell you what. I woke up this morning after tossing and turning last night, had a beautiful message from the Father. A message that began for me, but is relevant to all of us. And so I'm thinking, excited about sharing it with you. But at the same time, I had to do some work on a car. Work I used to do a long time ago, when I was a younger guy, and I used to do this work all the time, and it was kind of simple. It was a different kind of car. And now I'm working on a car that's not as easy. And I've been on it, I thought a 15-minute, a 30-minute job, and I've been on it 2 days. And today I've been out there thinking I could handle it because I call myself picking up the tools, only to find out the tools just didn't hit it on this old stuff that's corroded, been sitting up for so long, rusted, sealed together. And it pissed me off because we shouldn't be here. I shouldn't be here. I'm sure some of you go through the same kinds of things. Some of you are nurses. I see you on the picket lines. You're pissed off because you know you're not being treated fair. There are many of you that's working at department stores and service stations. You're pissed off because you're not being treated fair. Many of you are working for government agencies, whether at the local, state, or federal government, and you're still pissed off because you know. You say thank God for the job, but you know you're not being treated fair. Many of you out there don't even have a job, and you know good and well you're not being treated fair. And so when I think about this kind of stuff, it blows my mind, especially when I know for a fact that we as people are not being treated fair. When I know that we as people of the United States of America are not being treated fair. And then they take your president, or should I say the president of the United States of America, send him over to England, and you got what everybody's been taught to believe is royalty. Did you see the fanfare? Did you see just how it was coursed? Trump walking right in the middle of it, eating it up, loving it, loved it so much he took everybody that had a little bit of his name to him. Even if they changed their name, had a little Trump in them. Wanted to, look, come and check this out. Look at royalty. This is us. This is us. Now, and I'm sure when he said this is us, he was talking about them are the people who, you and I, we're no different to Trump and the royals as people that's coming trying to cross those borders. But ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you this. All of us are going through these changes. Some of you say, well, there was a statement, a curse on mankind. I want to take that back. Man has not been cursed by God. Man has been cursed because he's not been listening to God. Man has been cursed because he's listening to everybody else but God. Sometimes he's listening to the devil. Sometimes he's listening to man. Sometimes he's just listening to himself and won't listen to God. He's going through hell right here, right now. It's a crying shame. I try to get that message across to everybody I can that what's happening over there in England and all that royal stuff, that and all of the rest of the people suffering, all of the rest of the people don't measure up according to their standards. According to God's standard, every human being on the face of the earth, including every human being in the United States of America, is royal. I mean, we are true royal. We are royalty to a power that doesn't die. The Queen, the King, and Trump, and all those guys die. I want you to know, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm going to tell you this, and I hope you listen to me. Right now, we are living in a society that's dictated by the anti-God. I don't want to say devil or Satan. I just want to say the anti-God. I didn't say antichrist. I said anti-God. You heard in the beginning that you were going to die if you didn't listen to God. Well, a lot of people try to tell you what that means. It means simply what we're going through today. That's what it means. Simply what we're going through today because we violated the rules and we do not know the truth. And we're following along with whatever way the wind blows. I want you to know that God has been sharing with me a certain measure of the truth, about as much as I can handle. And I can't wait to come and share that truth with you. Let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. I know you probably given it some thought already, but I made a couple of notes down here, and I just want to refer to them. It says, the truth is a mother. You know, and I want you, everybody, to listen. A believer acts different than a knower. People say, I believe in God. I believe in Jesus Christ. All of America and the Christian community, believers. If you're a Muslim, you're a believer. In any other religious faith, you're just believers. Except the Antichrist, the anti-God, they are not believers. They're out there killing folks. They're out there robbing your life. Now that's real. And all the other stuff they told you to mess your mind up. Let me tell you how they work, ladies and gentlemen. In the book that they call the Holy Bible, they tell you that the representative of God or Christ, whatever, Jesus, whatever you want to call him, got white woolly hair like this right here. And brown skinned and wonderful melon just like me right here. That's what the word says, written right there. You can go look it up. As they say, I know a lot of you don't want to go looking in the Bible nowadays. Technology is advanced. You can Google it. And they will tell you. But what happened, ladies and gentlemen? They put a big old picture in the book. And the hair doesn't look like this. The complexion doesn't look like this. Why do they do that? They don't care what you hear said to you. You got a picture painted on your mind. Now, my reason for mentioning that to you is this. If they use that picture to screw you up and deceive you, you think that's all they'll do? All that stuff about you, Jesus Christ died for your sins and you just hang on, you're going to heaven. That's a dead blasted lie. Jesus Christ died because of your sins. Why? What that mean? I mean Jesus Christ was here and the people didn't give a stink about Jesus Christ. The religious community, if you can call them that, was telling, get out of here, you messing up our game. The government was saying, get out of here, you messing up our game. And you had a few little peons running around there saying, well, gee, what's going to happen now? What we going to do? What we going to do? But supposedly, having killed him, he rose from the grave. Supposedly, for those of you who believe, to say what? He came to set you free. He said, I am the way. What is the way? Don't accept the anti-Christ, anti-God's way. The anti-God has set it up so you got the royals in England. You got the royals with the billionaires and everybody else are just peons. That's the anti-God. I don't care if you got a job that pays you 6 figures. You're still a representative of the anti-God. You're as much of a slave as down in Mississippi in the 18th and 19th century. There's no difference. You might get paid a little bit more money, but it still doesn't have any more value. You might live in a different type of living dwelling than a shack, but it still doesn't do anything. You're still hustling. You're still bustling. You're still living by the sweat of your brow. You can't even enjoy yourself because the little vacation only lasts a week. Why? Because you're letting Satan, you're letting the anti-God, I said I wasn't going to say Satan, run your life. But believers, they act different than a Noah. And you know what? A Noah acts different than a believer. Yes, and a Noah acts different than a believer. Now what am I saying to you? I'm saying there is a path. Every last one of you got a dream. And there is a path to the dream. Now, a believer trying to get to the dream will follow many paths. They'll follow Putin. They'll follow Stalin. They'll follow Lenin. They'll follow the guy in North Korea. They'll follow the guy in the Philippines. They'll follow the guy in China. They'll follow the guy in the United States of America. That's what believers would do. They just looking for a dream. And they trusting that somebody's going to lead them to the dream. Somebody's going to rescue them to the dream. Might even be a Republican or a Democrat. That's what they counting on. They don't trust God. But you know what? Noah acts only according to the path. Noah acts only according to the path. I mean, if you go into Mississippi from here down through Wisconsin, down through 90 and 39 and so on and 55 and so on and so forth, you know how to get to Mississippi. You go there. You don't start going toward California. That's where you're going to end up. But if you're a believer, you don't know which way to go. Somebody say, let me tell you, once I was leaving here, going to do some traveling, and I asked somebody which direction to go towards Chicago from Minnesota. They didn't point east. They pointed west. And my first time here, I just started driving west. Never got to Chicago. You're never going to get to your dreams trusting in America. You're never going to get to your dream paying the lottery, hoping that this is your day. Somebody said, be still and watch the glory of God. God is working for 1, 2, or 3. It's never working for you. And for those 2 or 3 that you think God is working for you, there are others who's not thinking about God that got hundreds of more blessings than you. No, baby, that trick has been played. And what I have said to you and am saying to you is the world is taken over by dictators. Dictators like the ones I mentioned earlier, Putin and North Korea. But I want you to know that humans have submitted to the dictator control. They can't control you if you don't submit to it. That's what the life of Jesus was all about. Stop wondering, stop fighting about if Jesus is real or not. What about the message? Do you know whether the message is right? How do you know the message is or isn't? Have you tried it? What is your evidence? Then come talk to me about, is Jesus real? You see, when you're slaves, you just fall in line and do what you're told to do so you can get a piece of bread, have a shack to lay in, and think they might let you live. But the truth, my friends, the truth comes to set you free. Believers will try it, but they will fail. Noah's will stand the test of time. And I want to say it one more last time. All Americans are as much a slave today as back in the 18th and 19th century in the South. Let me just say the South. I don't want to pick on Mississippi. Bondage. Workers. Working by the sweat of the brow. No freedom to live as they choose. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I say I'm a Noah. Now, I spent 40 years. I'm just like Moses now. I spent 40 years out here amongst all of the people that I've been around. And I don't see none of them listening to God. I don't see any of them listening to God. And I'm telling you, when it comes down to me, I've allowed certain things to happen in my life that make it seem as though I'm not listening to God, just so I can hang around a little longer and keep on talking to you. But I'm tired of talking to you. It seems talking, and I love you, I love you, I love you. But talking to you about God is like me talking to my puppy. He might pick up some, might not. Is that a sad thing? I'm just going to tell you like it is. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of people just going along to get along. See, I know the people. I know people who woke up. I know the Noahs. I know that Martin Luther King was a Noah. I know that Gandhi was a Noah. I know that Malcolm X was a Noah. And there are so many others that I might not even know their name. But there have been some Noahs, and I know what happens to Noahs. Noahs don't live here. They don't die from heart attacks. They don't die from cancer. They don't die from corrupt kidneys. They don't die from any of those sicknesses and diseases. Why? Because they're so darn busy trying to take care of God's business, so darn busy trying to make sure that their steps lead toward their dream. And as they do it, everybody else can see the glory of God in every step they make, and people be inspired and enlightened by it and think about it and want to do something about it. And that old anti-God says, that one got to go. And you know what the one got to go says? Thank God Almighty, I'm free at last. Thank you.